welcome back to the Wrestling Collector Zone. Today we are going to talk about something that is a yearly, annual time of year, and that is for the PWI 500 out of the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And every year we get this. Any fan, at least, that knows about the actual PWI magazines knows that we get this yearly. If you did not know about this, I would suggest going and picking it up and picking it up every year, but also start picking up the PWI magazines. And with the PWI, how it is they do a ranking every year of the top 500 wrestlers around the world. It's always interesting to see their decisions on people that are ranked. Obviously, the current hottest talent at that time is always usually number one. And this year it is one of the people that was one of the hottest free agents that had went on the market months ago, that he did not re-sign his WWE contract, and that was Jon Moxley, otherwise known as Dean Ambrose, and he is the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion, wrestling over in AEW, and he is ranked as number one here, as you can see. And this is what I always love about the PWI 500s, is that you always get a little story on that wrestler at the time. And they always start with, I think the 1 through 10 ranking always have their own page with more of a story to it, which number 2 is Adam Cole. Number 3, surprisingly, this really surprises me, but he has made a comeback this year alone and has stayed more active this year than what he has in prior years, and that was Chris Jericho, is ranked as number 3. And then number 4 was Drew McIntyre. Number 5 is Tetsuya Naito. And then number 6 is Okada. Number 7 is Cody Rhodes. Number 8 is Seth Rollins. Number 9 is Kofi Kingston. And number 10 is AJ Styles. And then it jumps into smaller, it shrinks down the rankings on the pages like this throughout the rest of the rankings up to number 500. And there will be one picture on each page that is one of the wrestlers, and whoever of that is will be highlighted in blue, which this picture is Keith Lee, and it's highlighted in blue up top here of Keith Lee. And then it's just throughout the rest of the magazine, it will be the PWI 500, like Bandito, and highlighted in blue. Pac's pictures here, highlighted in blue. And they just do it in ranking of, they go 1 to 500. And it's always really interesting to me to check out the PWI 500 because of, one, you never know who you're going to come across in the PWI 500. 2, you're going to end up learning of some new wrestlers that you've never heard of that you can check out yourself. And just, it's great to read these little small backstories and information profiles on these wrestlers. because you're going to learn of a lot of independent wrestlers, because throughout the 500, you're going to also have wrestlers that are ranked from WWE, but the majority of the magazine is going to end up being ranked of actually independent wrestlers, wrestlers from Ring of Honor, stuff like that, wrestlers you may not have access to normally seeing, or have not seen in the past and had access to, that you could go to YouTube and search their name and actually pull up some matches and some footage and see of them. But that's what I always enjoy myself about the PWI 500, and then always the pictures too, because there's usually always some like entertaining pictures in here, like this one of the Jungle Boy here, and him wrestling Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. So it's just always interesting, and like you'll come across people that you may think that you haven't seen or heard. You may come across wrestlers you haven't seen in years and heard of in years that you thought were probably retired, that turns out isn't even retired. Like one of them, I haven't really heard anything about him in years, and I didn't know he was still active, but Masato Tanaka from Japan. I always watched him in FMW and then ECW when he came over to ECW in America. And it's just, I didn't even know he was still an active wrestler. And he's ranked at 118. That's crazy. Like, I didn't know he was still an active wrestler. And that's just the great thing. And there's a mixture of female wrestlers within here too. It's not just the males. And like, you've got them from around the world. The wrestlers that are going to be in here are from Japan, from Mexico, the United States, Canada, all that. Just like right here. LA Park right here. And this one is 151, and the picture here of Tangaloa here, and that's from over in Japan when, the Gorillas of Destiny, they wrestle over in Japan and stuff. So that's just the craziness of the PWI 500, is that you're always gonna get a mixture of wrestlers, and it's a great magazine to always learn about new wrestlers, because you never know who you're gonna come across in the PWI 500. And that's just why I always enjoy, and that's the one magazine I look forward to every year, is the PWI 500, because that's the one that I'm gonna be able to sit down. I'm gonna be able to, read like little profiles of each wrestler, learn some new wrestlers, some old wrestlers, even like, wrestlers that aren't always so much active anymore, like Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam's not always active like all throughout the year, but usually he'll be in, wrestling somewhere a couple times a year at least. Like this year he's been in TNA, and he's ranked 192. And it's just great to see, all these different wrestlers and them being ranked, and I just really enjoy it overall, because you never know. Like I said, you just never know who you're going to come across. And I don't, like right here, I didn't even see this one, but ranked 227, a friend of mine, Alex Zane. He's from Kentucky. He was, back in the day when there was AOL Messenger. I met him over AOL Messenger in a chat group, and our messenger board, or whatever it was, one of the messenger rooms, and we became good friends. He was in Backyard Wrestling at the time. I was too. He got pro trained. He ended up leaving He wrestled for a short time, left the wrestling business, got into music, and then came back. I want to say he came back to the wrestling business maybe 2 years ago, and he's been tearing it up. He's wrestled now for Ring of Honor. He's wrestled for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling when they came to America. And all of it. He's been profiled in one of the PWI 500 or PWI magazines, and this year he is being ranked as number 227, and that's the picture of him, like I said, and ranked 227. And that kind of, you may think that's high, but out of 500 wrestlers, that's not bad at all. He actually, just a few months ago, also got lucky and was able to go tour Japan for a promotion. Had like I think 2 or 3, or like a month's tour or something like that with Japan. But like I said, that's the thing of it. You never know who you're gonna find in here in the PWI 500. So that's just great seeing that. It's great to see a friend that's actually someone I know ranked in the PWI 500. But like I said, overall, if you have not got this month or this year's PWI 500 magazine, or if you do not get the PWI 500s, go out and grab one. They're great to have. They're a great tool to have. You're going to end up finding out about new wrestlers you don't know, stuff like that, and you'll be able to go and search them on YouTube or Google them and just check them out overall. But the PWI 500, always love it. Always look forward to it. Thanks again for joining us with the Wrestling Collector Zone. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Once we get to the 50 subscriptions, we're going to do one giveaway. Once we hit those 100 subscribers, we're going to start doing weekly giveaways. Thanks for joining us today. It was great, just being able to talk about the PWI 500 and sharing my thoughts on it with you guys. And I love being able to share that with you guys. But overall, thanks again for joining us. You make sure you guys stay safe out there and have a great day.